today to talk to Bianca about her new book, Back to School, Adventures of Alex and Joey. How you doing today, Bianca?
I'm doing great.
So listen, I wanted you here because I wanted to have a conversation with you and Joey about the book. So can you tell us about the project?
Well, the project is really based on transitioning from preschool to first grade kindergarten, or staying at home with mommy and transitioning going into preschool, pre-K. I considered myself a writer somewhat because I was always a poet and I was always a songwriter from a small kid about Joey's age. But I didn't know I wanted to write a children's book until I was trying to teach Joey how to read. And that's how the children's book idea came about. Of teaching him sight words rather than just walking around like that's a door, D-O-O-R, right? Teaching you words like and, but, out, okay, things like that.
I know how to spell okay.
How do you spell it?
O. O. And an O and a K.
Awesome.
Okay.
I thought about writing the book because I always wanted to leave something here that had my name on it, that my children can take on and say, my mom did this for us. But at the time, I wanted to write an adult book. Mm-hmm. But when I became a mom, all the stuff that you could write before you were a mom, you know, it's different now. When I wrote the children's book, I thought, wow, this is based on my children. These are real stories. And they can use it. It'll be part of their legacy and part of our legacy as we go on to the next round. Initially, words didn't mean anything to Joey. Alex heard the story, he got it, he understood it, but without pictures, it didn't mean anything to him either. Mm-hmm. Once the pictures were added to it in color, in full color, they started to see how the book was going to come together, how they're a part of the book, and how did you like the book, Joey? Did you like it? It was A-okay? Awesome. You can talk, it's okay.
Did you like the book?
Yes.
What was it about the book that you liked? Seeing a picture of yourself or someone that looked like you in the book?
Seeing a picture of myself.
Yourself? What about your brother?
We were sitting at the porch, and when everybody was was playing in the sprinkler, and we were drinking lemonade.
You were drinking lemonade. Cool. So have you told your friends at school that your mommy wrote a book about you and your brother? Has she been in
Did you tell?
to read to your class?
Say not yet, soon.
No.
Well, Jay Foster, first, shout out to Jay Foster. He was awesome. He did it for a very affordable price for me. He made my first time out an awesome experience because he was willing to work with my budget and what I was trying to do, and he had never done a children's book. Mm-hmm. So that opened up another, you know, outlet for him as well. But for me, finding Mr. Foster, I found him through his son, actually, who I do music with, mm-hmm. James. So from James to his dad, it was easy to make a transition. They were very, you know, calm and collected like each other. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to work with him. You know, he made sure that I had everything, that I had CDs with the photos on it. You know, he was awesome throughout the whole process. I say this all the time. He's never seen my children before, ever. Mm-hmm. He's never met them. I've met him quite a few times, but in the making of the book, he had not seen myself or my children in a year or so maybe. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I told him, well, I want one child to have a short haircut and to be more fair than the other child who has a curly haircut. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just make the mom a mom. He had full creative control based over the words inside the book, so he put it together pretty well. Last year, February, it's a funny story. I came up on Author House on the computer, and I said, wow, this is awesome. I can be self-published versus trying to solicit HarperCollins and all these huge publishers. So I said, well, I'm going to try it for myself the first time out. So last year, a day after my birthday, I bought my package. So that forced me to do the work. Mm-hmm. So I started soliciting Mr. Foster. You know, I showed him what I wanted, and I started putting the words together, getting the manuscript together. So it was a long process. It was a year process, but January 13th it was published. I was actually at work, and they called me and said, we have great news. This is your check-in coordinator. You're now a published author.
Wow.
It was very good. From designers to put your interior together, but you work side by side with them. If you don't like it, say, no, I don't like that. I think we need better colors. But I will say this, I've only had to send back one draft, and after that, everything was put together quickly, and by the end of the 2-week process, which was actually done in a week, I had book materials, I had the first book. It was great. It was an awesome experience. Well, actually, Author House set it up for Amazon. Okay. Author House was who it comes through initially. Excuse me. Sit down. You said you would be nice on the camera. It's looking at you. The whole world can see Joey. You have to behave. Author House set it up. So Author House has big packages where you can put it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, but the main site where I would get the best royalties would be AuthorHouse.com. Well, from teachers and working in education, they actually have been talking about trying to make it part of the curriculum to use it as icebreakers, you know, because we're all talking about friends when, you know, when we first get to school. Everyone's nervous and has a little anxiety. So the reception from my coworkers and other teachers are great. The children love it because when you read it to kids that know Joey and Alex, they're like, oh, that's you. And there's another student that he had in his class, Anaya, who's actually inside the book. So it was a great experience. They're receiving it well. I mean, I couldn't be happier. Promoting is actually great. Author House takes care of that too.
Really?
So if you are ever looking to publish your book by yourself, authorhouse.com is great. One of the best resources I could ever come up with. I'm trying to get a book on a few of the best sellers lists, obviously, but some best book clubs out. And, you know, just become part of the literary community and try to get inside of the children's book, because there's not many African American authors that write children's books. So I'm trying to, you know, break down a few doors first. For me, I think other outlets that I've built and networks that I've built and worked in, you know, it's easier for me to use a blogger to read my book electronically or get sent a book. Yeah, it's easier for them to read it and then write a review on it, and then whoever's in their area that follows them starts to read it and say, oh, okay, I like this. But in dealing with getting inside, it's hard to get book events. It's very hard to book even the library. I mean, if you're not in your city where you grew up in, or if you're not in a city where you're living, it's hard to book. But, I mean, you just got to keep pushing, got to be persistent, make the book work for you. Well, since Adventures of Alex and Joey is a series, the next book in the series is Alex and the Bully. And it's going to be a flip side book. It's like an A and B side. The first side is Alex and the Bully. The second side is Zoe and the Mean Girl. I'm basing the characters off of children that are in my family or that I've come close to in the last 5 or 6 years. I'm also working on a project with my mom called From Duckling to Diva, and it's a book about self-esteem in little girls. So we're working to make that one of the better books coming out in the next season, in the next book season. He loves the Alex and the Bully title. Fundraising is actually doing way better than I thought. I had a few private donations that came in the mail rather than electronically. So that was awesome too. You can go on Facebook and like the page at www.facebook.com/backtoschool, Adventures of Alex and Joey. You can follow the book, or you can follow me on Twitter, BB Gray, or on Facebook, Bianca Gray. You can follow news on www.bbsnexttoblow.com. And if you want to order a book, you can go on authorhouse.com, amazon.com, barnesandnobles.com. They have it in ebook. It's always available. Please order from authorhouse.com. If you can't, get to any major retailer and they'll have the book for you. That's how easy love can be. That's how easy